Alright, I think the stream is back. I have no idea what happened there, but OBS just decided to disconnect. Yeah, I don't understand. Oh wait, is that gonna cut into two different streams? That's gonna be annoying if that does that. Does that count as two streams? Please don't tell me it does. Twitch, I hate you. Alright. Okay, well, I don't know what happened there, but it disconnected temporarily. I don't know how much of that was disconnected. I only noticed it a few minutes ago, but it looks like it's back now, so I'm going to assume that it's working. But anyway, I think we can try this out now. So we have the spaceship here. Let us go in here. Let's give it it already has a rigid body. Okay, that's nice. Did I do that? I don't remember doing that. I guess I did that. But anyway, everything should just work, right? I think everything should just work. It would work if I'd put a ship in the actual scene. That would help. Okay, let's do that. Now it has a target of 0, 0, 0, right? Oh, is vector 3 a value type? I think it is, right? Can we just say equals null? No, it could be null. Oh no, it can't. Right, it's a value type. Because yeah, that's what I thought. Alright. That's fair. So I guess what we'll say is protected Boolean has move target. Or let's say has move orders. No, I don't like that either. Say protected vector Boolean is done moving. How about that? Say is done moving. It's not done moving. And that. Say is done moving is equal to false with move to. Is done moving equals false. Alright. And then we will say if have a expression defined member, protected bool within movement threshold. And that's going to be equal to the distance between ourselves and the target being greater than that, being less than that. So if it's not done moving and it's within the movement threshold. Otherwise, if it's within the movement threshold, or no, if it is within, and it's not within the movement threshold. If it is within the movement threshold, actually, so if we're not done moving, and we are within the movement threshold, we stop moving. Otherwise, we keep moving. That's what I'm trying to do. Now what we will do is we will is done moving is equal to true. Is equal to true, if I can spell it correctly. Okay. So yeah. So basically if we're not done moving, then actually what I should do is if is done moving, let's just return, because that's all we're doing right now. And we don't need to worry about anything else. Okay. Otherwise, so if we're not done moving and we're within the movement threshold, then we actually are done moving. Otherwise, we look at we move in the direction of the target. Okay, I believe that's correct. So now this needs to start as done moving, right? but it needs to be public. Right. I know, well, actually, I'll just set it as true by default. That's fine. Yeah, now that should work. Okay, so we click on it, and we right click there. Now it will move to that point, hopefully. And let's see, does it stop? It does not stop. Okay. Well, because the rigid body dot velocity needs to be set to 0. That's why. So I click here, and then I click, I don't know, on that white line. It should stop. Yep, and then I do it again. Can interrupt its current movement orders by doing that. Yep, I like that. Alright. Okay, let me double check the stream is back, because I still don't trust that it is. Okay. Let me see. Nope, it is definitely working. Okay. Okay. So if we right click here, then we do, or sorry, if we left click off of that, then we right click. Alright. So that is not valid. That's fair. Alright, so the selectable. So we can do one of two things. We can either check if the selected object can be cast to, or sorry, we can check if it implements a like movable sort of thing, which I think I like. And also, this really shouldn't go in components. This should go somewhere else. Yeah, okay. So the eye selection control thing. So what we'll check is, can you do, what's it called? In C#, or not in C#, in Java you can do something, what is it? It would be, in C#, it would be like type of ship component dot, like, is assignable from? Yeah, so you do type dot is assignable from. So what we could do, not that, but what we could do is, nope. That's Control C, Control V. We'll say I movable. Sure. Do that for now. We'll create a I move to. Then we'll say vector3 where. Yeah, do that. Say if it's movable, I movable, that is assignable from, then I guess we say type of selectable, selected. Is type of a runtime thing? Type of is a runtime thing, isn't it? It's a compile time thing, isn't it? Yeah, so it would be selected dot get type. So this would tell us if this is movable. Actually, I can receive orders. Yeah, I can receive orders. And we'll say void target position. Oh, that's fun. Alright, apologies for that. I think they are conducting like tests of the fire system or the fire system or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm trying to find the thing. It would be this. Okay. I think everything is back to normal now. But maybe it's not. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to call this I can receive orders, and I always forget. I think receive is spelled... I always misspell receive, so I need to double check. Yeah. But I believe the rule... I always screw it up. Yeah, okay. I always doubt myself, because those rules for English don't always work. But anyway, this is going to have a... it's going to have two methods. One of them is going to be for targeting a... It's going to be right-click targeting a location versus right-click targeting another selectable. So this is a... What is it? A target location order. And so this is going to be a vector3, and we're going to call it where. I guess that'll work. Say target, no, I'll say target location. No, I don't know. I'm gonna think about method names forever. I'm just gonna say target location order and target selectable order. And it's going to have an iSelectable other. So yeah, this will be what we do. And so now I want to change the ship to have an I can receive orders. Yes. And we'll add that. So whenever we receive a target location order, we just want to say move to, and we'll just say where. And I think these go here, and that technically goes there. Yep. Okay. And this just does nothing. Do nothing yet. So what we want to do is we want to say I can receive orders dot is assignable from that, and then we can get rid of that. And if that's true, we might even be able, knowing C#, I might be able to say, oh, is there some way, C# check instance of a type. Is there a way to do this in like a very nice way? So I know Java is working on a way to do that. A more compact way to use this, C# is operator. Let's double check this. Switch statements, pattern matching, type pattern, constant pattern, var pattern, is type var name. So if O is employee, okay, I think that works. So I believe what we can say is if selected is I can receive orders, orderable, no, target. Say target dot, target location order. Target location, and then we'll say position. Because really it should be target position order, but I'm not gonna rename it because I will again be at this for 1,000 years deciding what the names are going to be. So if it can receive, if it can receive orders, just forward it the order. Otherwise, don't do anything. I think that's fair, for now at least. Alright, so what we will do is we will say, okay, you can receive orders, right click there, select that, you can't receive orders, and you don't break. Really, that should have a deselected on it, should it not? Selected. Oh, right, because it doesn't actually do that, right? I remember now. What I will probably want to do eventually is use like a nav mesh to make it sort of navigate around the sun in sort of a nicer way. But until then, I guess we'll just have it, you know, go like phase through the sun. It's fine. Okay, so that is how we issue orders to things that can receive orders. So now there are a couple things that we could do. Trying to think which one I want to handle first. Also, okay, just had to double check that I remembered to turn my mic back on. All right. Nope, something's annoying me again. Okay, that's fair. Nothing super important. Right. I guess we could start working a little bit on the UI and how we want to name these planets and everything like that, like how we want to actually store that information, communicate it in the scene and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get the UI started. Sure. Let's put the event system inside the canvas. I like to do that just so that if we want to spawn like a default kind of canvas, we can do that later, and we don't have to worry about not having an event system. So the UI, we will have, I don't know, a panel in the top left for now, and that will show the name of whatever we have selected. And I think that'll be good just to get the sort of the workflow down. Not the workflow, but like the basics of the UI down. So I think the canvas, we want a scale with screen size, a 1920 by 1080, I think is fine. And then we want this panel to basically snap to the upper right. And its pivot, I think that's fine. The width I think will be like, I don't know, 300 and I don't know, 50? Should probably be fine. Roughly how large is that? Yeah, that's about right. Maybe 250. Yeah, that's probably better. And then the position, maybe 20, 15. And 15. Minus 15. Something like that, right? Yeah, that'll be fine. And then inside this, we will have a UI, we'll have a Text Mesh Pro, we need to import that. That will fill whatever container it's in. Maybe it'll have a 5 by 5 by 5 sort of thing there. No, 10 by 10 by 10. It's probably better. And it should be centered. Should be centered there, yes. And I think we can have like a content size fitter inside this, make the horizontal be the minimum size. How does that work? I always forget. But I thought having a content size fitter would make this the minimum size, or does it need to be... No, it needs to be in here. Oh god, why? I always forget. God, how does that work? Is it the preferred size? Shouldn't mess with this. I don't know why. Alright, well, I tried. I legitimately tried. I really don't understand Unity. The content size stuff, it just never seems to work correctly. There's probably it's probably user error, but it just never seems to work correctly. Let's be ship name or selected name. I just have to be selected. It's fine. All right. So there's one of two ways we could do this. Well, there's multiple ways we could do it. The first thing we want is to create a UI folder. And then I think I'm going to separate that into HUD, like the heads up user display, and then the menu, the menu system, the title screen and main menu stuff. And these don't go in components. I guess we'll just call them interfaces or something. It's not really a great design, or not a great organizational pattern, but it's better than what we currently have. So yeah, we'll do that. Let's think about this. So have the, whoops, did it not like there? That's fine. So, oh, it didn't, right, I can't, what is it? Is it show all? Oh, that's not what I want. That's really not what I want. I do want to scope, no, I don't want to scope to that. I want to, let's see, Control C, Control V, say a HUD manager, just to have something in there so that it will include that in the project. Project organization is a complete mess. Yeah, my project organization. I've never figured out a good strategy for organizing Unity projects. One of the differences between C# and Java is Java's weird in that I don't know what that means. Java is weird in that it forces you to organize, the package structure of Java forces you to organize your project in a specific way or in specific ways. But it's always been kind of weird to me that the language would dictate the structure of your project, but it really does eliminate the problem of, hey, I don't know how to organize things. Because I've seen some very interesting C# project organization. But yeah, it's both a curse and a benefit. It's a curse because the package names in Java are they can just be ridiculous, but also it makes sense. Well, it eliminates this problem where you're like, I don't know what to do. You're like, well, it tends to be very obvious what you're supposed to do. But yeah, I've seen some awful things. Yeah, I've got to think about this. Okay, so the HUD manager, and then I guess we'll just include some of the code in here. Just oh god, how are we gonna do this? Let me try to first say what I'm trying to do, and then I will actually do it. Let's think. Okay, solar system. So what I want to do. So whenever I click on something, I want the name to change in the upper left. So the way that we would do that is in the selection control component. When we select something as part of the selected or the change selection and then the deselect sort of methods, what we would do is we would call the UI from here. So I guess for now we can pass in just the game object. So we'd have a public void on select. Nope, that's not what I want at all. Public void on deselect. And then I guess this can be, well, no, there's not even a reason to make this a singleton, actually, because we could just do find object, and that should be fine. Say game object, game object target, selected. And then on deselect, game object deselected. We can duplicate this, and then we can do unityengine.ui because we need to import that. Or no, it isn't unityengine.ui. It's TM Pro, right? Yeah, TM Pro. Still getting used to the text mesh pro stuff. I should have used it when it originally came out, but I just didn't. TM Pro text, I think is how it works. No, or is it TMP text? Yeah, it's TMP text. I guess we'll just call this the name. Then we'll have a public, I guess, game object. This will be the little, like, holder, like the thing around the name. And we will just, whenever there's no selection, we will just set that to be inactive. So say nameholder.setActive false. Say nameholder.setActive true. I'm going to say the name.text is equal to selected.name. We'll just do this for now. We won't use deselected here quite yet, but we might use it at some point. So on deselect, we can just call, or on change selection after everything is active, we can say find object of type, and this will be the HUD manager, and then we can say dot on select, and then it will be the target, right? Do we ever use target in here? I don't think we actually do. Am I crazy? No, we do use target, okay. On select, yeah, target. And then we would just find an object of type, and then on deselect. And we could choose to cache this, but I don't know. I don't care enough to try. Oh, right, because this is not a game object. Right. But it will be a game object. Yeah, it's guaranteed to be a game object, so we can just cast it. Oh, it doesn't like that, right. Oh, is there no way to get back from that? Because that should always be, oh no, that'll be a mono behavior, actually. Oh no, it won't let me do that, okay. Well, that's annoying. Why can't, I guess you can't, I guess they don't share an inheritance tree, so they can't be considered, whatever, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Well, we know it was selected, actually. If we want it, we can just cache it here. Okay, that's fair. So this will be the name holder, yes, the name holder, and then this will be the name. All right, and we need to add a HUD manager here, and then that will be the holder, and that will be the name itself. All right, and I guess for the solar system, we want to call this, I guess, planet 1, planet 2, and planet 3. 2 and planet 3, yes. Okay, and then the actual ship itself, call this ship 1. And we can duplicate this, and let's go over to it and just move it. Oh, how did I do that? It's like this, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Just move these two apart from each other, and then we call this ship 2. Alright, so I think that will work now. So yeah, that's, oh, but that doesn't start off in the correct way. Yeah. Alright, so that shows ship 1, and then we click, oh wait, so that shows ship 2, we right click to move, and then we can select ship 2. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I like that. And then we click off of it, yep, okay. We can select planet 1, planet 2, ship 1, yep, okay. I like that. Alright. Has it been? No, it really hasn't. Okay. I'm getting through this a lot faster than I thought I would. So my, I don't know. My plans for this are kind of, like normally I plan out the UI and I haven't done that yet. So kind of like, what can I do that isn't exactly UI? Let me think. We can check if, so some things that can be selected can't be ordered around by the player. So what we can do is we could say, we could have some way of deciding whether or not ships can be ordered around by the player. That's what we can do. So let me create another ship here. Let's call it an enemy ship. Enemy ship. And we should be able to select it, but we just shouldn't be able to give orders to it. So what I want to do is, the first thing is I want to add a new material, and we'll call this enemy ship. And we'll make it red because red is the color of enemies in some cases. Let's just change it to that. And which one was the enemy? It's that one. Alright, just separate it out and then give it that material. Yeah, okay. So I want to do something where this ship cannot be given orders by the player. I kind of want that to be sort of generalized, so I think will be like an interface. Be something like like I has team, and if it's an I has team, then we will get the no, we'll just have a boolean is on player team, I guess, because that's really all we care about. There's only going to be 2 teams sort of in this. So the ships will have a team, but the planets will not, because there are not enemy planets. And if we want enemy planets, we can do that later. But yeah, I imagine having things like space stations and things like that. So those will always be aligned to the player. So what I will do is I will have a public bool is on player team. So yeah, we will just return that. Oh, you don't like that? Can I do? No. Oh, really? It doesn't let me have right because... Actually, how do I... So this is ambiguous, yes. Cannot convert between... Denying delegate type. I know that it's confused because it can't tell if this is a value or a method group, but I am not sure how you disambiguate that in C#. I know what I could do. I'm just curious. C# method group member ambiguous. Call is ambiguous, passing method group and delegate. Is there a way to disambiguate that? Call using new that, blah, 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 blah. Notice has double type T. Using method group. Huh. I'm very curious if there's a way to disambiguate the two. But yeah. So what I can do, well, actually. We'll just do that. That's fine. Then I has team, we'll just say on player team. Yep, that'll work. I could have done like on enemy team or something like that, but yeah, we'll just say is on player team. Sure. It's not a good solution, but it'll work. So in the selection control, what we'll say is if the selected is null, then we return. If selected dot, oh right, we need to check if the selected can be given orders. If it can receive orders, can we do compound conditionals with this? Surely we can. Actually, we don't need to. No, because the player is trying to order it around, so we do need to do a compound conditional. Wait, no, we couldn't do it in there though. So we can receive orders, and if selected is I has team, has team, sure. Then we would say if has team on player team. Ugh, I do not like that at all. So how can we fix that? I really don't like any of that. We could do early returns, but that's not going to work forever. So we want to check multiple things. Let's think about this. I guess we could say var orderable equals selected as I can receive orders. I think that'll work. And then we say var has team is equal to selected as I can has team, or I has team. So then what we can say is if the target is orderable, it's not equal to null. If it's orderable and it is on the player team, has team not equals null, and team not equals null, this is going to be a compound, and has team dot on player team. So I think that takes care of all of those. If all of that is true, then we will say orderable dot go to the target position. Why do you not like this? Bool and method group dot is on player team. Has team, but you, no, on player team. Yes, okay. So that's true, okay. I think this is correct. And I have a way to improve this, if this is correct. So the way of checking this is that basically for these two ships, we just want to set them to on player team. So we can select you, right? we can give you orders. We can deselect you. We can select you, but we cannot give you orders. Okay, so this is correct. So the way that we can fix this is we can say, so this is a bool can take orders, or no, can receive orders is equal to, this is selected as, this is an expression defined member, so return selected as I can receive orders not equal to null. That tells us that it can receive orders. Why? Oh, because it's like that? Yes, okay. But we actually need to know. Yes. Right. So actually this needs to be orderable is not equal to null. And then orderable itself is equal to, or say target actually. Say target dot target is equal to selected as I can receive orders. And then we'll have a bool on player team. That's going to be an expression defined member as just selected dot as I has team that on player team. That won't work because this is a right. Okay, never mind. I can't fix that. I could fix it, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's just going to become a mess. Never mind. I think this is actually the most concise way we can do this. So yeah, if it's orderable and yeah, if it's orderable and it has a team and that team is the player team, so yeah, then we can actually order it around. I'll allow it. It's not too bad. Also, I want to find out where that message is coming from, because it's actually starting to annoy me at this point. I think it's coming from the ship component. Yeah, it is. Okay. Ship technically doesn't do anything when it's selected, but it still needs the selected sort of interface. Okay, there we go. That's ship 2, that's enemy ship. Okay, and we can't order that around. We can order you around. So if we go into enemy ship, we set that to on player team. Now we can order you around. If we deselect it, now we can't. Okay. I like that. Now, I guess one thing we could do is we could do the combat. But I don't know. You gotta think about how that's gonna work. So if we right click on a ship, so that's the order us to target a selectable, then what we would want to do is we would want to go up to it, basically go within weapon range, and then we would want to start firing. So yeah, I think that's the next thing we want to do, is at least try to target an enemy ship. So that's going to happen in the selection, or the handle orders, and it's going to happen in the selection control component. Yeah, okay. So now let's think about this. So if, basically it's going to be more, in the case of this, Alright, so in this case, actually we're going to want to check, so this is if we hit a position. If we don't hit, no, if we do hit, no, okay. First thing we want to check is if we hit a selectable. because if we hit a selectable, if we hit a selectable, then we want to handle that. Basically, this is like the first case. So if we click on our ship, then we right-click on an enemy. We want to mark that enemy to be attacked. So this will get the selectable that we hit. Yeah, all right. And instead of saying change selection, we want to say orderable. Not orderable, we want to say, so this is not selectable. So yeah, if we right-click on something, and that thing is not ourselves, then we want to check the team of that thing. So if it is an I, or no. If it can receive orders and it has a team, let's see, if it can receive orders, if orderable, that equals null. It's got to be a more concise way to do all this. Equals to null. Or actually, no, we don't care. We only care if the selected can receive orders. So if the selected can receive orders, it is on our team. Yeah, copy-pasting a lot of stuff, that typically means bad things. So yeah, this is the selectable, right. So this is the target. Call this the potential target. No, actually, we'll just call this the target. Yeah. So the target is going to be selectable if the target is, if we have a target and the target is not selected. And we also want to check if the target is on an enemy team. Yeah. We probably want some helper methods for this. Just gotta think of what they are. Yeah, if the selected can be ordered, if the selected is on our team, and if the target is an enemy, and the target is not on our team. Target is enemy? No. Yeah, I don't know. Gotta think. It's okay. What we will do is has team not equal to null, and so actually this needs to be this is going to cause problems. Yeah, this is getting more complicated than I wanted it to be. Is team not equal to null? So this would return false. So actually everything has to have a team, or it can't be ordered. All right. Guess we'll have a thing. So okay, what are we testing? We're testing if the selected object can receive orders. So we'll create an expression-defined member for that, or maybe just a method. So this would be public bool. Selected can receive orders. But the problem with that is that it doesn't do the cast for us. So what I'd like to do I guess we could create an expression defined member. No, but that doesn't work. Well, it's so annoying to have to do the cast twice. That's the only problem. So this is equal to selected as I can receive orders is not null. And then this is public bool selected on player team. So this is the selected as I has team not equals to null, which is not entirely true. It's selected as I has team is null, because if it's selected doesn't have a team, we assume automatically that it's on the player team, or that dot on player team. So either, yeah, either the has team is null or we're on the player team. So that should get rid of some of this. So if the selected can receive orders. Say selected can receive orders. No, not there. Say selected can receive orders and selected on player team did on player team, and then this can go away, because what we say is selected as I can receive orders. So that can go away. That can look much nicer. I think that still works, actually. Let us get rid of all this. And sure, this will do nothing, but we can mess with it later. This should still work. I did that right. I think I did. So what we want to do is we want to click that. We want to give orders. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay. Did I invert the logic? No, I didn't. Okay. We can still select things, though. So that's good. So selected on player team. So what is the logic here? If it's null, oh, not and, or. Because that couldn't possibly be true. Couldn't both be null and have that. Well, if on player team was a static method, that might have worked. So yeah, okay, now we can do that, and yeah, now that works. And now we can give orders to the planet, but the planet doesn't do anything. Okay, that's better. Okay, so selected can receive orders is that, and then selected on player team. All right. So we just cast it to an orderable thing. We do that. Okay. So now if we hit a target, so if target not equals null, target not equal to null, and the selected can receive orders and, actually, target's not equal to null. So this is a right click on the target. Let's say if the selected can receive orders and the selected is on the player team, then we need to check if the target is on the enemy team. So we will say, we'll create another method here, public. Can these take? No, they can't. Would this evaluate to? No, that would evaluate wrong. Say on enemy team, and we will say, can expression defined members take a? Yeah, they can. Okay. So bool. No. What is it? Is it a game object? Yeah, target, which to be on the enemy team, it explicitly has to have a team, and it has to not be null. It would be not. This is a, yeah, okay. So this doesn't work because that won't return false, that will return null. I think I have to do if it has team not equals to null and it's not on the player team. So yeah, something like that, and not on player team. Which this is not the selected, this is the target. Why can you not be cast to that? Boxing or null type conversions. You can't because... Huh, no wait, why can't you? What do you consider that? You consider that as selectable. Sure. Okay, yeah, whatever. So basically if the selected can receive orders, if it's on the player team, and the target is on the enemy team, then we want to issue a, say selected as can receive orders, dot target selectable order, and it's the target. So this should issue an attack target only to enemies. And so what we will do is in the ship component, we will do a debug.log, and it will say attacking enemy, say plus other. Yeah, that should work. I think we're going to have some issues later on because we can't target them as game objects, but we'll deal with that later. So this should not give us that message, and it doesn't. This should. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so if we right-click on this, we get an attacking enemy message. If we right-click on you, we can't issue orders to you, so we do nothing. Okay, and you should have the same thing. Yep. Alright. And you shouldn't, yeah, okay, perfect. Alright, yeah, we're gonna have some issues later, but we will figure it out. So yeah. I am going to take a quick break because I'm not really sure what to do now, and I need to go get some water. But yeah, be right back. Apologies for the multiple breaks, but they were testing I guess, the fire alert system earlier, so I didn't really have any control over that. Anyway, see you in a minute. Alright, apologies for that. That took a bit longer than I had intended. Anyway, I think I know what we're going to do, though. In fact, I do know what we're going to do. So, since we can now target enemies, all of that is good. One thing I want to work on is dynamically loading in the ship information. So, each planet is going to have a number of ships that it can spawn. And I'm thinking about doing that via scriptable objects, just because I think that that's like a better way to do it. So I want to get that structure sort of set up. So I will have a scriptable, not in components. What am I doing? Nope, let's not worry about that. All right, have scripts, and then we will have, I guess we'll call this data. That's fine. We'll call it data. And then we will have, let's see, grab one of these, copy this, we will say ship definition, and let's grab the name of it, and then let's go into it. Nope, that's not at all right. That's what I want. We'll call this it's still a class, and in Unity it's a scriptable object. Yeah. Have a create asset menu, and then we'll give the menu a name. This will be data, or we'll say definition / ship. And I turned my mic back on. I always get paranoid. One stream I did not turn my mic back on, or I left it on mute, because sometimes I mute at the source of the microphone, and sometimes I mute in my recording software. So one time I did both, and yeah, I ended up losing like half the stream. I'm so mad about it. This will have a bunch of stuff. This will probably have like like a public game object for the model, and then probably a public string for like the class. That's like the ship class, like the actual type of ship. It was something like that. And I think the names will be dynamically, well, they'll be procedurally generated, not dynamically, but yeah. Then we'll have let's say, planet definition. So the planet, each planet has like a name, has a public string that is its name. It has a public ship definition, not ship component, ship definition, ship type, I guess. Then it has a public int, which is the fleet capacity. So the way that this worked in the original game is that each planet supported ships individually. So each planet supported ships individually, and that planet could produce a certain type of ship, and it could have a certain capacity, and the upgrades were tied to each planet. So here it's going to be a similar thing. Here it'll be a similar thing, I guess. And the ship itself is like tied to the planet, so anytime the ship needs to upgrade or needs to return home or something, anytime it needs to upgrade or refuel or repair, it has to return to the planet that it was created at to do that. So yeah, do that. And then we probably need a list of ship names or something, but we'll deal with that later. So for the planet component, that will need a definition. Say a public planet definition. So in private void awake, what we will do is we will parse that definition. We will say name is equal to definition.name. Definition.name. Nope, .name. Yes. then we will for each ship in the fleet capacity, we will create a ship for that. So what I want to do, I'm trying to think. I want to create a ship, right? So then I have a public void spawn ship. But my question is how we're going to, or where we're going to get the prefab for it. And actually what I'm thinking is the ship definition itself will just hold the prefab. I actually like that a little bit more. That way the planet should have access to the ship type. So we'll say game object prefab. Or no, we won't even worry about that because we have the definition internally. Say definition, or say var ship object equals planet, or equals definition dot ship type, and we will instantiate that. So we're going to call instantiate, call definition dot ship type, and we want to call that at transform dot position and quaternion dot identity. And then the ship itself is going to be ship object dot get component, or why did that not work? Is it find? No. Oh, we get a ship definition. Wait. That ship type dot prefab. It'll be ship object dot get component. And it'll be ship component. And then I think with this, we want to set ship dot is on player team to be true. And I think that's all we need to do. So on awake, what we want to do is we want to say definition. We want to use system.link. So using system.link. I think it's enumerable. Or is it enumerable? It's enumerable. Enumerable.range 0 to definition. Whoa, no, not that. Definition dot fleet capacity. What we want to do is for each, no. Actually, we can select, say, index to spawn ship. And then this can just return 0. We really shouldn't be doing, no, let's not do that. This is aware.all distinct first. Intersect join. Is there a peak? No. I guess we say toList. Say dot for each. For each index, just do spawn ship. So we'll just spawn a ship up to the fleet capacity, and that will like sort of test the spawn ship logic. So yeah. And then what else did we have in the definition? We had the ship type. Okay, yeah, we're using all of that. Okay. So let's try this. And so we need to create some data. I guess in our assets we create data. Create a folder, call this data. Then we'll create another folder and say ships. Actually, no, that's fine. Yeah. Create another folder, call it planets. Create a definition. Create a ship definition. Basic ship. And the prefab will be whatever that ship prefab is tied to. So this be the spaceship prefab. And we won't give it a name quite yet. Say that it's on the player team as a default. We can get rid of these. And then we will create a planet. Create a couple planets actually. We'll call this planet, call it planet A. And then the ship type will be the basic ship. it'll have, say, 3 of them. And it'll be planet A. Planet A. Cool. And then we can duplicate this a couple times, call this planet B and planet C. Maybe planet fitness at some point. Planet B, planet C. Then planet C will have 5 as its fleet capacity. Alright, so all we need to do now is assign these to planet 1, 2, and 3. So planet 1, planet 2, and planet 3. And these should just rename themselves and everything should just work out fine. So let's hope. Okay, so they did rename themselves and it looks like, oh, did they all, oh, right, okay. They all created, well, oh, interesting, they all created their, why did they do that? Oh, I know why they did that. Because they had not set their positions originally. Okay, I understand. Okay, that makes sense. So what we need to do is, this is in the orbit script, right? It's the orbit component. I understand why that happened. It's not a huge deal. Because we're going to change all this logic at some point anyway. So I'm thinking about just not worrying about it. Just thinking about calling it good and not worrying about it. And in fact, I think that's what I am going to do. But yeah, this did exactly what I expected, so it calls it planet A, planet B. This creates a clone of this ship. And yeah, these get spawned here because this is where the planet originally spawns. The problem is that the orbit component actually moves the planet over to here because that's the appropriate place for it in the orbit at that time. But the player doesn't see it because it happens before the player, gets the first frame. But yeah, it's fine. So yeah, I think I'm going to call this here for today. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I will be back here in an hour. It'll be 2 p.m. Central for some Valheim. So yeah, it's Viking Simulator 2021. So yeah, be sure to get back here, and if you don't want to watch me play games, then the Gamdev stuff will be going on tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central as well. But yeah, thank you for hanging out, and I will see you guys.